You're the love of my life and the life of my love.
Huh? How?
Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America.
He's just doing Billy Joel lyrics.
Okay.
It's still rock and roll to me. Former Vice President Biden, he gave this farewell speech. And, of course, it was dishonest. I've always maintained that he's not a good man. People say, oh, at least I disagree with him, but he's a nice guy. No, he's not. Garbage would be generous. Before we get into the speech, here's kind of the gist for those who missed it.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from the Oval Office. This will be my final address to you from the American people from the Oval Office, from this desk as president. Upstairs in the residence of the White House, I've walked by a painting of the Statue of Liberty I don't know how many times. The Statue of Liberty.
He doesn't know.
The Statue of Liberty is not standing still.
Huh?
Her foot literally steps forward atop a broken chain of human bondage, and she literally moves. Institutions that are rooted, they just might not reflect the timeless words, but they echo. Like a kid with a stutter from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claremont, Delaware, sitting behind this desk in the Oval Office. My
You
deepest
developed a stutter when you were
appreciation
70.
to our amazing First Lady who was with me in the Oval today.
And it caused you to lie.
You're the love of my life and the life of my love.
Huh?
How?
Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America.
He's just doing
You
Billy
love it
Joel
too.
lyrics.
God bless you all. And may God protect our troops. Thank you for this great honor.
And what else?
That's it.
I
Why she
didn't realize he's literally just doing Billy Joel lyrics. That's why you're keeping the faith. Inflation. Is that all you got for money?
Modest beginnings.
Hey.
Uptown girl.
I'm moving out. I'm moving out. The theme of the speech, by the way, really seemed to be, you notice, Statue of Liberty was centered around that, which, by the way, makes sense, happens to be the theme of the cosplay night at the Biden boudoir, which, that is, also, want to correct.
I'm just glad he's finally with a woman, you know?
Yes. Well, at least he's watching.
There you go.
I hate to be a stickler here, but the Statue of Liberty cannot literally move.
That's true.
It may be able to figuratively move. If it did literally move, look like this.
How did he get up there? He's so lost. He's like, where?
That's Operation Dumbo Drop.
Operation Dumbass Drop.
Yes. Hey, come on.
I stutter.
Hey,
What is that, a joke?
hey. It's still rock and roll to me.
Oh, jeez. Back to that.
What's the matter with the tie I'm wearing? It's not too wide. You're too wide. I remember. I walked through Bedford Style alone. What?
It was when I wore a younger man's clothes.
I was sleeping with the television on.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Why is the microphone smell like beer?
I don't know, but they say only the good die young.
That's why he's so
I'm still
old.
here.
Keep waiting on my turn.
All right. There was a lot that was spoken in this farewell speech. So this is the last time we'll be able to do it. It's time for some Claim Truth. All right, again, just on the theme that former Vice President Biden is not a good man, has never been a good man, and he didn't have a stutter until he was 70 years old. His claim was that he has been president for all Americans.
In the past 4 years, our democracy has held strong. And every day I've kept my commitment to be president for all Americans.
Bullshit.
It's fair.
Yeah, that is fair.
That's
Here's the truth. No.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. This MAGA threat is a threat to the brick and mortar of our democratic institutions. But it's also a threat to the character of our nation. that gives our Constitution life. Trump and his MAGA supporters not only embrace political violence, but they laugh about it.
You called your opponent an existential threat. On a call a week ago, you said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. We got to lock him up.
I made it worse. I didn't say crosshair. I mean bullseye. Lots of people can try to get him.
Sure, that
He
means
was just accused of saying that?
yes. Sure, that means the same thing. Oh, you may be right. That may be crazy. But
I hate this.
no, but it's just maybe you're looking for. That's not what we're looking for from Vice President Biden. Turn off the lights. Don't try to save me. Let's go to the next claim.
I've been doing this for the longest time.
For the longest time. It's something he would do. It's not that far off.
Just start reading a script.
It's like how the funeral at Carter had like that speech from Meet the Parents.
All right, sorry. Okay, we have to. By the way, Tim Kaine always looks drunk. Lady Lane always looks drunk. Full screen on CNN.
Too, a little bit.
He always looks drunk.
Too much.
Hey, he's flushed in the cheeks there.
Yes.
Push us into needless military expenditures and even hostilities
okay.
that we shouldn't
All right.
be in.
Sorry.
Come on, Virginia, do better.
We'll reset this again with the, let's bring the claim back up. The claim from former Vice President Biden. And this is important because I don't want you to allow anyone to venerate him as, gee, he was a decent guy. We just went through that with Carter. Carter was not a good man. He was not a good man. He was not a well-intentioned man. That is false. He was a bad person. He was a bad president. And his post-presidency was even worse. I don't say this to cheap shot. We've been making these shots while he's in office the entire time. Figuratively, I meant bullseye, not target. Don't allow people to say that he was a good guy who we disagreed with. Nope. No, he was not. Because his claim here is fundamentally dishonest on every level, that he created 17 million jobs for Americans.
At home, we've created nearly 17 million new jobs, more than any other single administration, a single term. Millions of entrepreneurs and companies creating new businesses and industries, hiring American workers, using American products.
Okay, so here's the truth. You know well enough that most of the jobs that would be considered part of the economic growth were returning jobs from COVID. Okay, that was 9.4 million jobs. But here's the more important truth. 25% of the jobs under the Biden administration were government jobs. Okay, so that's just taking your tax dollars to give it to someone who may or may not have rightfully earned it. And then we said employing Americans. Here's the really disturbing truth. Native-born Americans had zero job growth. None. No new jobs. Foreign workers, over 6 million new jobs under the Biden administration.
Jeez. That makes sense.
Want to go back to that H-1B talk, to be clear? So that's the part that is dishonest. He says, okay, we'll give it to you. They returned from COVID that you guys helped orchestrate and kneecap Donald Trump. He's going to come back as 47, so you have to deal with that. But for Americans, we employed Americans, there is no way that anyone in his entire administration can justify that. References available, as every show, link in the description. Here's another claim that former Vice President Biden made, that you need to be afraid. Right? Well, I don't know what happened to unity, but an unchecked oligarchy is going to usher in a new era of, and this is a term they really like to use, misinformation.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
Listen to the slur here.
Our basic rights and freedoms, and a fair shot for everyone to get ahead. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing.
What?
Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit.
Okay, before I get to the truth, I can prove this in real time. Can you rewind it right to where he says, we really were trying, was he saying pillars? Was he saying editors? Was he saying Elmers? Was he talking about glue?
I think it's errors.
Let's see what he says.
The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing.
Editors?
I think
he's saying editors. Okay.
Elders.
And his entire speech was riddled with this, by the way. Okay, when you say misinformation, do you mean like the press carrying your water saying that you were mentally fit for the job? Because we just saw that you weren't. And we saw it in the debate. That debate will go down as historic because it will be the moment that Americans realize they were completely lied to. Everyone, a chorus, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, take your pick. Everyone outside of half of Fox News said, oh, come on, this guy is fit. That's an unfounded attack that he's unfit. That's ageism. And then everyone watched the debate and said, oh my God, this man's not in charge of anything. But here's some more truths for those of you who don't know when he talks about misinformation. The truth, we just had this for the last 4 years. You have big tech censorship, especially, by the way, on the topics that were at Biden's behest, like the story of his son, right? The Hunter Biden laptop was something that the Democrat Party wanted to suppress. I understand that was during an election.
It was made up, and then he was, excused for it.
Yep. Then you had COVID, right? The 2020 election. Anything even critical of the vaccine, or even pointing out that there could be side effects. In other words, even pointing out the degree of side effects with the mRNA injection that might be comparable to other side effects of drugs. And the media lied simultaneously. They lied about Trump. They lied about January 6th. A lot of you believe that. We lost viewers because we said it's not what you think it is. Now people know that. They hid the mental decline that we talked about. Hunter Biden. I mean, this is the guy, by the way, when he talks about an oligarchy, do you mean like weaponizing the DOJ? Do you mean pardoning and protecting corrupt politicians or family members? Do you mean politicizing coverage of every single political event, whether it's for gun control, abortion, falsely claiming that women are dying because they can't get abortions? Let's just be really clear about this. Yeah. On the way out, he lied. He lied his entire time in office. Barack Obama was worse as far as weaponizing our agencies, our institutions. That's why he talks so much about the institutions. Yeah. You got to trust. He doesn't talk about our values, the Constitution, the American people. He always mentions the institutions first if you watch his speech. The institutions are so important. Oh, you mean government control.
Yeah. But let me clarify. So he said we've given up on fact checking. No. We gave up on the fact checkers. That was the problem. We still want fact checking. We're just doing it through community notes instead of having a pre-selected list of people that are going to lie to us every single time and tell us that you're mentally fit, like you've listed out these examples. That's the kind of stuff that they fact checked. Yeah. All right.
Well, for the party that's against oligarchies and is for the people, the Democratic Party, the Democratic Party, they're certainly against crowdsourcing information and fact-checking.
Well, they're the elites. They're the only ones that can be the gatekeepers. And by the way, they're just mad we got us a billionaire. They had George Soros.
Yeah.
We went out.
He got a Medal of Freedom.
And by the way, did you see that Nina Jankowicz, the one who headed up the Department of Misinformation, I believe it was, lasted 1 month. Now she's the head of some nonprofit, and she's furious about Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, I wonder why.
Saying that it's a travesty. It's a crime against democracy. So, again, the mask comes off. This was the person we were told would be unbiased, just like former Vice President Biden was mentally fit. Hey, if you're still watching, you can comment below or click this video playing in a box. Shut up. Shut up. You can tune in live weekdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, because that's the full show. Which you can say, shut.
I didn't say anything.
I know you didn't say anything. I could feel it. Click like.